I want to play this video because after Trump, the assassination attempt, I don't know if you guys are hearing this in your lives, but it seemed as if like the strangest things started happening. I think I played a couple of the videos on Monday where people are now just blaming Trump for his assassination attempt. A lot of Democrats are saying that it's Trump's rhetoric that caused it. I don't know. I'll be and I have to be totally honest. Let me hide this screen for a sec. Who thinks that? Let's see who's feeling bold in the chat. Who's feeling bold in the chat? If you think that Trump caused it, Trump caused his situation, just write Trump. If you think that the Democrats who have called him Hitler, who have said that he's a threat to the world, a threat to democracy, all these different things, he's a demagogue. They say all these different things. Do you lean to thinking that, hey, like ease up a little bit? The man just got shot. Like maybe we should tone it down like Biden said the first time that he got shot. Or the man just got shot at, or he got shot the first time and then it was another attempt. He didn't get shot at the second time. Which one are you thinking? Aaron, and if you don't feel like answering now, let's just kind of take a listen to some of the videos. If you're me right now, if I was to answer it, I would say that, of course, you have to say that Trump played a role, right? You know, two people going back and forth. You have to say that Trump played a role, right? Okay, so Shy wrote Trump. Anybody else? Anybody else? Matter of fact, let me play the video. And then, but I appreciate you, Shy, because there's 12,000 people in the building right now, and you're the only one that had the courage. So salute, you heard? I appreciate you. Somebody else may be driving. If you're driving, do not try to text and just leave it as what it is. But let's take a look at this next video, and then let's see if our opinions change. I don't know. But I did play y'all the video last time. Hold up, Shy. You were on here on Monday. I just remembered. I did play that video with all the Democrats, whether it was the politicians or it was the pundits. They were on the show, on their shows, saying all this wild stuff, like pretty much, in my opinion, escalating violence. And if I could probably play the video again, but I don't even think I need to. There's going to be another video that we'll play. But let's start with
it.
This
is
one.
Unbelievable the amount of people who continue to blame Trump and J.D. Vance for these bomb threats that came into these schools and other venues. It came out yesterday that it was a foreign country. That came out from the governor.
All right, so just so y'all know what she's talking about. So there were a lot of people saying that Trump, after him and J.D. Vance were saying that the Haitians were eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio, that a lot of the Haitians living there were facing some backlash. And apparently there were like, I don't know, there was a bunch of bomb threats. I don't know whether for some reason 16 or 30 something is in my head. I don't know. There were a bunch of bomb threats. And the governor came out and said that it was all a hoax. But a lot of the Democrats are still continuing to say that Trump is he put the Haitians in harm's way. Now they have bomb threats, even though that they know that the bomb threats weren't real. You guys take a look, listen to the video.
Governor of Ohio, who made that clear. Here he is in stop 40.
Least 33 separate bomb threats.
33.
Each one of which has been responded to, and each one of whom has been found as a hoax. So 33 threats, 33 hoax. I want to make that very, very clear. None of these had any validity at all. We have people, unfortunately, overseas who are taking these actions. Some of them are coming from one particular country. We think that this is, one more opportunity to mess with the United States, and they're continuing to do that.
Let me just remind you of that Norah O'Donnell clip that we just played. This is her last night, Monday night. We knew by then.
And what Megyn Kelly is saying is that when we trust the news, like a news source. So let's say if I jump on here and I start telling y'all about something, and hopefully y'all saw the, yo, cut that off. They listen. If I came on here, just like I do the dumb ish I said the other day, I actually just did one, and I gave y'all fair warning that I wasn't sure if it was real. But if I come on here knowing that something is not real, but because I already, have my outline already written, I don't want to make any changes. I just want to present the information as such because it proves or it helps back up, validate my opinion on that particular situation. That would be like, you guys would think that I'm being like, that's damn near lying, right? Or I'm manipulating or misguiding you intentionally. This is what our news is doing. This is what our news is doing. So let's take a look at it. And this is why we say you can't, I think Lana just wrote it in the chat that we have a mental health crisis. We have like a whole bunch of crises in one. It's a mental health crisis. Like, it's everything. We are at a low point when it comes to intelligence, when it comes to health, when it comes to morals. Like, this is it. This is the point where God told Noah, start building. There's too much evil in the world. We got to start all over. This is at that point. Let's continue and check out what the news pundit, whatever, what is it called? Newscaster? I don't know. Let's look at what she said after knowing. If you're a good journalist, right? You're reporting on something. You have to be up to par, up to speed on everything. Let's see what she says. And y'all tell me if this is honest journalism.
That it was not a local, that it was hoaxes from overseas. Listen.
Donald Trump is blaming Democrats for inflaming political rhetoric, but the former president's own words seem to be increasing the threat of political violence in Springfield, Ohio. That's where a false and ugly accusation against Haitians, thousands of whom are legal permanent residents, is impacting everyday life.
She just goes with it. Just double down. Didn't happen. Didn't hear it. No, it's got to be a Trump-inspired.
And side note, and this is something I was going to talk about with Elon later. Did y'all know? And I got to fact check this. Maybe somebody could fact check it now. But apparently after like 5 years, a lot, like certain migrants will be allowed to vote. Certain migrants will be allowed to vote. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick just to show y'all. I want to make sure that I'm reading the tweet right. Where's that tweet at? If I don't see it, then I'll get it later. I know I bookmarked it for later. So, but to me, when something like that happens, so it says those granted asylum become citizens within 5 years, which is just over one presidential election cycle, and then vote overwhelmingly Democrat. And what I should show y'all, and I'm not sure if y'all been paying attention to it. Think about this. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to show y'all this. I got to show y'all this map. I have to show y'all this map because when we think about Democrat versus Republican, who is more welcoming to a lot of the migrants? Who has been more welcoming to them? The Democrats, right? The Republicans, those are the ones that have been like, Trump, build the wall. Democrats are damn near inviting people to come into this country illegally. So before we move on with the Megyn Kelly video, I do want to show y'all this graph right here. So this is Haitian illegal aliens. It's showing where they're going and which states. So hold on, let me see if I can make it a little bigger. There we go. So this is their destinations. And I can't see the exact states on this graph, but what the red states, or the red is states that voted for Trump. The blue is states that voted for Biden. So overwhelmingly, you will see that a lot more of these Haitians, so these are the dates on the bottom. So there's Q1, Q2, Q3, of 2022. So it shows from 2022 to 2024 the amount of illegal, and I guess this is just based on the Haitians. It says Haitian illegal aliens. Why are they going to mostly states that voted for Trump? Hold on, my fault. Y'all ain't even shit. My fault. I didn't show it. My bad. All right, so take a look at the chart. At the bottom, you'll see the years. These numbers are how many came in since 20. Where's Clifford? Where's Cliff, who was saying, yeah, they've been coming in since 2016, whatever he was saying on the last show. Look at how it grows. And obviously, you could see that it's a significant increase at Q2 of 2023. But pay attention. Pay attention to all the red. Those are the states that voted for Trump. The blue is the states that voted for Biden. If the Democrats are the ones that are welcoming these people, that are incentivizing these people, that are pushing agendas, pushing policies that are favorable for these people, why are they not going to Democratic states? Why aren't they going to blue states? This is all a play. It goes back to what I just told y'all with Elon posting. The ones that are granted asylum, in 5 years, they will be voting. Who do you think they're going to vote for? The people that fought or allowed them to come in illegally, or the people that want to deport them? What do you think? What do you think? And to be totally honest, I'm asking that question because I'm not even entirely sure. I know the Democrats think that they'll support them, but to be totally honest, a lot of these people, in my opinion, well, I'm not sure, but I think it's a little bit different when it comes to the more Latin, Spanish-speaking countries. I think they tend to be more conservative, but this is all just a play. This is all just a play. They are bringing people in to gain supporters and voters because they know that they're losing a lot of their base, because they have to do so much. They have to become so extreme. Like now, because they made so many promises to certain people that have voted for them in the past, now their only option is to be so extreme. And when you are so extreme, when you haven't even delivered on the basic things, people are not believing you as much. People are not believing you as much. So therefore, you realize like, hey, we can't get us. What are we supposed to just be more extreme? Then we risk losing a lot of the moderates that are Democrats. So what do? They say, hey, let's bring in, give us all your worst, give us your whatever, doesn't even matter. Just bring them here. And whoever else can make it, y'all can come in too. That's what's happening right now. All right, let's keep going with the video.
Loon. It's the Proud Boys. It's one of those guys, for sure. I just know it in my heart, notwithstanding what the governor had released. We knew this yesterday afternoon. And here's Anna Navarro. Here she is on The View yesterday, before we knew, but she was totally, no. Okay, sorry. This is, here she is. Yes, here she is on CNN this morning after we knew. Okay, after we knew. Take a listen.
Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are not questioning their rhetoric. Right now, because of their rhetoric, because of what he said in that debate, there's been 33 bombing threats in Springfield, Ohio. That would not have happened but for this false conspiracy theory being spread by the vice presidential and presidential Republican candidate.
All right, first and foremost, it's not a conspiracy theory. Trump, I'm pissed off that he said dogs and cats, because what it did was, in a lot of ways, it took away from the fact that a lot of people actually did have complaints. And I saw multiple videos of people saying that they were, killing the geese or ducks in the park. But now that he said dogs and cats, it just sounds so crazy that it's allowing a lot of these people that don't like him to just act as if the entire story is just BS. But that's on Trump. He shouldn't have said dogs and cats. Unless you can validate it, don't say it. Just stick with what's a fact, stick with what people are actually reporting on. So that's on him. But for her to come out, and what's so crazy is, I'm going to give you this. This is where this is so crazy. It's almost not even a big deal. You know how it used to be? For me, whenever there was a new police video showing them killing a young black man or, whatever else, I started to become desensitized to it. Like I would react and just say, damn, that's messed up. But it was a different feeling. It kept going on, and I just started to become desensitized to it, to the point where I wasn't feeling like the feeling wasn't the same as the earlier ones with Trayvon Martin or the Mike Brown or the Philando Castile. It just got to the point where I'm just like, damn, another one. Like where I was mad, but it was just a different feeling because they kept happening. I think that's what's happening with Trump after this second shooting. I got a group message with my friends. Nobody even brought up the fact that the former president of the United States and current candidate for the Republican Party, who was favored to win, up until the switch or maybe up until the debate, nobody even mentioned it in the group chat. Nobody even mentioned. It's like it's not a big deal. Like, do we realize that it doesn't matter what side you're on, Democrats or Republicans? A president having an assassination attempt is a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, period. Then it's a terrible look, period. That shows that we are very vulnerable. Y'all have seen the shows. If y'all see Game of Thrones or any of these other shows, when do people attack? People attack when a country is vulnerable. When there's a powerful force, whether it's in boxing, whether it's in any other sport, or just whether it's in the corporate world, when there's somebody who's been very powerful in a position that everybody else wants to be in, when do people attack? They attack when there's vulnerability. Just like a lion that's going after a bunch of zebras or whatever else they're attacking, they attack the one that's most vulnerable. Our country, if this thing would have followed through with Trump, or if it happens with anybody else, would have happened with Kamala, that is a terrible thing and makes our country look terrible. And it puts our country in a very vulnerable position to where I know our generation especially, and maybe our parents, I know we've grown up without war. And we become spoiled by that to the point where we kind of take it for granted, the freedom. Like we talk about war, but we never actively get into a significant war like a World War or a Vietnam, where we have to send so many of our troops away, where there may be a huge threat of people sending things our way, whether it's a nuclear threat or anything else. We haven't really dealt with that. We just get involved in other people's stuff. If we have something happen to Trump or happen to Kamala, what do we think that all of these supposed enemies that we have throughout the world, even some of these quote unquote friends that we have throughout the world, what do you think they're going to do? Our lives will be in greater danger. Our lives will be in danger. And I'm not sure that people are computing that because they have such a hatred for Trump. And you see it with all of these politicians. So funny that after the first assassination attempt, Joe Biden got up and Anna Navarro, we actually played the video on here. Anna Navarro from The View. She was the one talking about, y'all just saw her. She was the one talking about celebrating Joe Biden for him. I'm going to follow my president who said to tone down the rhetoric. So I'm going to tone down the rhetoric. After this one, it's almost like, they just went, they didn't even give a 24-hour, 48-hour, white flag, even in war, they sometimes like you kill a certain type of person. Look at the movie Troy. Like Hector got killed. We pausing fighting for a little bit. We'll fight y'all in a little bit. The next day they're on blaming Trump for being shot at. So my question that I had earlier was, whose fault do you think it is? Or who do you write Trump in the group message if you think that it's more Trump, if he invited this, or write the Democrats if you think it's more the Democratic rhetoric. Because like I said before, if you're a Democrat and you call Trump Hitler, if you're telling people that Trump is Hitler, you are an influential person, you are on TV, people follow you, people like you. When you say that Trump is a threat to democracy and you call him Hitler, Hitler, what killed around it's people believe that he killed around 12 million people. And now you're calling Trump Hitler. And what's so funny about the entire thing is that Trump, out of probably, we should do a study. We'll look this up. Out of all maybe the last 5 presidents, who probably killed the least amount of people? I know Barack Obama killed a lot more people than Trump. I'm not sure about Biden. I'm not sure about Bush, but obviously we were at war. We weren't at war with Trump. We weren't at war because when you have a strong front and when people think that you are a strong nation, people don't even want to mess with you. Your word is so strong. You can influence other people. You can influence other countries like, yo, that war is not happening. Y'all aren't doing that. Because that's what the big bro's supposed to do, right? That's what the adult's supposed to do when they come into the room and they see kids fighting. We're in a tough place. We're in a tough place. But back to the point that I was making. I'm going to say that it's both. It's both. I'm going to say that it's both. It's both Trump and the Democrats. But let me be very clear. When I say it's both, I think at this point, it's probably about 10% Trump, 10% Trump's rhetoric, and 90% the Democrats and what they're pushing. I believe that they actively want Trump out of the way. And it may not just be Democrats. I'll be totally honest. I think the Democrats are the one that are pushing it in public. But I do think that there's a lot of people on the Republican side that are part of the establishment, the swamp that we always hear about, that they want Trump out of there as well. But I think the Democrats are just allowed to voice it. I think there's a lot of Republicans that are hating on Trump that would love to see him gone. But let me ask you this. Shy, I gotta focus on you when it comes to this one. And I can't take full credit for this. If there's a girl, as men, right? I don't know, fellas, if y'all have had discussions about what your lady wears, but there's been a lot of conversations outside of, I think, just a relationship situation. But when we look at situations and we say, hey, she should put on more clothes. If she wasn't dressing like a skank, if she wasn't dressing like a hoe, then maybe she wouldn't have invited that energy. Right. And then what do y'all start saying before we'll say like, yo, of course, a dude shouldn't sexually assault her. A dude shouldn't grab her butt. A dude shouldn't rape her. Of course. But when you're looking like dressed like a street prostitute to go to the club or to go to the restaurants in Miami, whatever it is, when we say that you're inviting a particular energy, what do women say? You're victim blaming. That's terrible. How could you even say anything about the woman? She just got sexually assaulted. She just got raped. She just got this. And you're talking about the clothing that she's wearing? And we're sitting there saying like, yo, I'm not condoning or validating what happened, the man's behavior, whoever sexually abused her. I'm not validating that. I'm not excusing that. But what I'm trying to do is just protect I'm trying to protect my lady, protect my homegirl, protect whoever it is. I'm trying to protect women from, if we know that there's nuts out here, if we know that you dressing a certain way is inviting a particular energy, then why not try to avoid that? But what do women say? No, I should be able to wear what I want to wear. But the energy's a little bit different when it comes to Trump. That's why I said I'm blaming both. But when it happens to the woman, women don't want to hear anything about, oh, well, you know, she could have dressed differently. She could have this. It's like, no. So then on this end, isn't it fair to say, I don't want to hear about Trump could have said this. Yeah, Trump said, I'll bail people out if they punch somebody in the audience who's trying to cause a ruckus. Yeah, Trump said this. Yeah, Trump said that. But it doesn't warrant him getting shot at, an assassination attempt. And I don't even want to hear anything else, right? We have to be consistent in how we're looking at things, and we can't get too emotional to the point where we're just not making any sense. I don't know what just happened with the views, but whatever. When we get emotional, we just become fanatics. And that's when logic goes out the window. That's when you can't say, hey, maybe you shouldn't dress like that. There's a lot of weirdos out here. And you can't say, yo, Trump, I know you were saying a lot of stuff before. We know there's some nuts out here. They still going to be calling you Hitler, calling you all these things. You may want to ease it down a little bit, present something like, hey, we've both been, there's been extremism on both sides, maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm just trying to be as objective as possible. Let's keep going on a little bit with the video.
She's on CNN News. In news, she should have been fact-checked with, that isn't true. And she did receive blowback online for saying that after we heard the governor of Ohio say, it isn't true, that this was a hoax. You heard him. That's his word. These were hoaxes by people trying to just mess with us. This was not inspired by Trump. If it was, there's zero evidence of that, Anna. Zero. What's your proof? You're so upset about proof on the cats and dogs. I mean, I saw 2 cats on a barbecue, so there's that. But let's put that to the side. What's your proof that Donald Trump inspired this, as opposed to the town council meeting last week that person after person showed up to complain at? How do you know what the cause is? What forensic deconstruction did you do of the hoax calls to get to the bottom of it?
It doesn't matter. Let's just be real. At the end of the day, it just doesn't matter. Because this next video that I'm getting ready to show y'all is Hillary Clinton, out of all people. She decided